Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline. I'm just doing a new quick update. This is just on my personal life. We'll go into some pretty intense details. I'm actually in my bedroom right now. You can see my new alien statue I got and all my stuff on my shelf. I'm kind of proud of it. I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, I wanted to talk about more of like a personal goals, things that have come up, my reasoning for these things. So I'm going to talk about my goals in a bit. This is going to lead into it. So I started to, in the past like year, really start to question my gender identity. And I talked about it in some of my last videos. I may have hinted on it that over the years of transitioning, I did a lot to make other people more comfortable with who I am. So, when I first transitioned, it was always very feminine. Grow the hair out, check all the boxes, wear lingerie, all of these things that I was doing, and to make other people accept me, to make men want me, to make, people say, oh, I have a trans friend, look how beautiful she is. So it's like more of like for their benefit, not so much for mine. So, there is such a fine line with transitioning to be perceived a certain way by people in society and the people you love and just friends and whatever. There is a difference between that and how you see yourself. So what I started to realize is like from my working out and fitness stuff and really just looking at my body and also dating. Dating definitely helps. Dating, finding women attractive, finding trans women attractive, opening up that door. Because I used to just strictly date men, and I was like, oh, I would never date women or a feminine man. I'm like, oh no, I like my men manly. And so I put myself in this box, and many people do it. And I think a lot of trans women do it as well because we're like, trying to prove something. We have something to prove, and we're trying our best to just put it out there. But there is something else that's happening in our world, and I think gender and sexuality are just starting to kind of phase out. I'm not gonna lie. I see gay men. I do a lot of hair, that's what I do for a living. And I do a lot of gay men's hair. And it is fascinating to see how gay men are shifting into even dating very feminine gay men, or some of them that even do drag, some of them that even dress up in women's clothing. And it's like they are seeing people. People are starting to just see people. There's not this like man, woman, blend of whatever, a trans woman. It's actually becoming individual to individual basis. And so I've started to see this within myself, as well. And I started to realize it didn't matter how feminine I looked, how beautiful I was. It would make people want me sexually, but it wouldn't make them love me. It wouldn't make them fully actually even accept me as a woman. And all of this, like, say if I went and had my SRS surgery and all of that, getting all that done, you are now in a position to where the other things that are different about you are just going to be more highlighted. So, and then it makes you insecure because, you just want people to accept you. You just want people to love you. So you're doing all of this stuff for them, and that's something that's very, very difficult to process, and must be very difficult when you realize, is this a gender identity situation, or is this me just trying to be loved by that type of person? Because I had put myself in a box when I said, I only date straight men and that's it, in a box, taped shut, labeled, put up on a shelf. And then now I've taken that box down. I'm like, okay, so now I date women. I like trans women. And I started to realize recently when I went to a party. It was this huge party with a lot of clients, and there was a lot of gay men there, and they're all doing drag and whatnot. But there was this guy there, and I'm looking at it from a distance, phenomenal calf muscles, and just really hot. And I'm looking at him, and I go up to him, and he's obviously gay. And so we start chatting about fitness, probably for like an hour and a half. We talk, and I'm just looking at him, and I'm like, he's really tall. That's why I'm looking up. So I'm looking at him, I was like, I'm attracted to this gay man. And I'm like, holy fuck, what's wrong with me? And then I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, like, but could he see something else within me? Like, is it not this person in particular, but I'm talking about from his perspective, like in general, more of like a philosophical thing. So would a gay man look at me, and I'm pretty buff, and I don't have a vagina, and all of that. And I have there's things about me that are different from cis women, and I'm okay with them. I don't want to change them. I have no interest in changing them. This is who I am, and I kind of like it. So, is that enough for, say, a man who's put themselves into a little box and said, "I'm gay," to step out of and go, "Wow, this person's attractive. I kind of find this woman attractive," and that is something I started to really like. It just opened up a can of worms that I really went down with my thoughts, and I started thinking, I'm like, well, let me ask my friend in Portland, Oregon. So I started talking to him. He was actually supposed to come in town. He couldn't. He had a close death in the family. So I took the week off. But I started talking to him about that. And he was like, oh, yeah, in Portland, we really just don't think too much about, gender and sexuality or any of that stuff. I mean, if you like someone, you just like someone. I was like, that's the way I am. I'm starting to get to the point where I look at someone, I'm like, I just like this individual. And if I expect people to look at me as a trans woman and go, wow, I just really like her, like, irrelevant if she's a trans woman, irrelevant, if I identify as this way, I just find this person attractive and I kind of want to pursue it. And so that's kind of like the thing. So I realize I'm in the wrong city. And I've realized recently that I have completed all of my goals. There was a set of goals that I had from 2017. After my brother died, I went through a lot. It was a lot of depression. I went to Yosemite and I had this profound experience on top of a mountain. And I realized that I needed to get in shape. I realized because I was out of shape, obviously, at that time. I needed to get in shape and I needed to get a new job. I needed a new car and I needed, to just have a better lifestyle and get a new house, move to a nice place. And I did all of those things. Those were all of my goals in 2017, and I reached all of them. And I'm sitting here and I realized, and I realized to myself that I think it was after I got my alien statue and all my stuff. I didn't have much more to look forward to. I mean, that thing's very expensive and really hard to get. And I realized I didn't have much to look forward to. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to work. And the thing that I really need more than anything is more nature and travel. But where I live is in, the gross ass South. And so there's not much beauty as far as nature goes in the South. It's more just like drinking and food. And so I was like, I need to get to like, Glacier National Park, Alaska, Canada. I need to start traveling more. I need to go home to South Africa. So I realized that there's a path that I need to go down. And I'm going to be getting a second job. And I do very well financially. I mean, I make like between 40 and 50,000 just doing hair. I only work 4 days a week. I have a great house, great car, all by myself. I eat well, I work out, I do my stuff. So the thing is that I just want a little bit more. And I'm not increasing costs to my clients and I don't want to work at the salon an extra day. So I think I'm going to be doing food delivery for this restaurant in town, and I'm just going to throw in. It's just for extra cash. It's just a side job, extra cash, and what that's going to do is it's going to open up to where I can travel and meet people that have a similar mindset for, like I was saying, gender and sexuality and how people are identifying now is if someone's attracted to someone, they don't have to change themselves. They don't have to tick any boxes. So when a man here where I live sees me, they see woman and they see vagina. And then when they hear me talk, they're like, oh, fuck, okay, what's going on with that one? And then they realize that I'm trans. And then they go through this whirlwind of like, well, I would still sleep with her, but I just wouldn't date her. Like, that's pretty much right away. So, and then you think to yourself, well, there's different paths I could go down. I could either go and get surgery done, and so I can make these assholes that wouldn't accept me this way anyway. Maybe they'll accept me if I go and get a surgery done. No, they probably won't because there's going to be other things about you and it's not going to change anything. You only get those things done for yourself. And I realized, well, I don't really care about those things. I don't need those things to feel whole. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to have to go other places. I'm going to have to travel. I'm going to have to mingle with people who love hiking. I'm going to have to go to other countries. I just realized that this is the path that I need to go down. This is the goal for my 40s, is to travel as much as possible and to mingle with as many different types of people as possible and just get the cultural experience. So that's it. That's kind of my profound experience of what I've been going through the past few weeks. It was actually pretty tough. I had that time off work from my friend that was supposed to come in town, and I really sat and I thought to myself for it was 6 days, 7 days straight. I really sat there and I thought about so many in-depth things and what would bring me happiness. What would bring me not even happiness, but what would give me a sense of being, a sense of purpose. And I was like, travel. I need to travel. I need to go to all the places I've wanted to go. And that's when it just hit me. And what are the steps I need to do it? Because I've realized that being trans, and I've put myself in this box, especially where I am located, you know, that people are really, they think of me as like a novelty, like, oh yeah, that pretty trans girl. But the only people that are really gonna date me and care for me and like all that are gonna be fellow trans people or cross dressers or something like that. And I realized that in the where I'm located, in the city I'm located, or I could just sleep with all the straight men, with all the wives and girlfriends and all that shit, but they would never date me. They would never love me. They would never be with me. So I realized that these are the goals. I have to just go other places. And also, if I don't meet anyone, I don't really give a shit. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't care. I just need to live my life. So I'd always hoped to have done that stuff with someone, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it on my own, and maybe I'll meet someone else who's fed up with shit, and wants to go on and do things with their life and have changes and travel and nature and animals and all that bullshit. Anyway, so that's my rambling on about some life goal things for the next, probably 5 to 10 years. Those are my goals. So anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. I will be live streaming again probably in the next few weeks. Yeah, I've just been taking a break from video gaming. I played a lot, and I feel like I really burnt myself out of Elden Ring. I'm like, oh, the interest is waned because I've just done so much. There's a few more achievements I gotta get, but I feel like I'm like, ugh. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it for my life. I'm actually going to go, I think I might ride my bike today. I don't know. I kind of want to take the dog for a long walk because it's such a beautiful spring day. And I do need to go to the gym. So anyway, I hope y'all are well. Give me your thoughts on this topic down below. It is an interesting one to have a different perspective on just on oneself and to see things differently, see yourself differently, and also realize it doesn't matter what you do, you can't make other people be approve of you. You can't base your happiness on other people's approval. It's we are such social creatures as humans that we just want them to like us. We just want people to like us and accept us and see us for who we are. And to be honest, that is not within our control. It's not within our power. What other people think about us is not within our power. And there's nothing we can do to manipulate that. You just have to either make it either happens or it doesn't. And none of that magic resides in gender or sexuality. You never know who you're going to bump into and who you're going to find attractive. You just never know. It's not in your choice. It's just either it's going to happen or it's not. Anywho, I will talk to y'all later. Okay. Y'all have a great day. Bye.